Hello everyone, I am out in the garden doing some harvesting. I thought I would just take a brief moment. Let's talk about some stuff. Tomatoes. So, if you didn't know, tomatoes are in the nightshade family, which means they do contain toxic chemicals. This is plant's defense mechanism, and one of the ways that it helps bugs and animals not eat it while it's still green. Even though it's mid-October, it's pretty warm here. Surprisingly weird. And we haven't had any snow yet, but last night got pretty cold. It was down to 34, 32. So you can see the plants are really putting their energy into their fruit. Now, you see a lot of videos at this time that says you can pick your tomatoes early, like as soon as they start to blush. You know, this one is almost blushing. Some of them are pretty close, like that little cherry tomato right there is starting to blush. It's getting a pink instead of an orange yellow. And that you can pick them at this point. Now you can totally pick them. You can let them sit in a box or a bag on your counter. They will turn red. All of the tomatoes we get from the grocery store are picked like this. The one thing is that as the plant ripens, those chemicals in the plant that are toxic to humans and dogs and animals and people and all things are more prevalent. So green tomatoes have a lot of them. Once a tomato is all the way red, it starts to lose that. So I like to wait as long as possible to pick the tomatoes off the vine. And once they are fully red, then I will pick them. Now, if you look in my bowl, some of these ones are not as red as I would ideally like them to be. However, it is very cold at night, so I have started picking the ones that are mostly red. I have a lot of tomato plants, and I'm not in a not in a famine, so I'm not going to take the risk of picking all of these green tomatoes and then letting them ripen on my counter. I will just let them ferment in the garden and add nutrients back to my soil, and just kind of keep that cycle of life growing. I get tomatoes up like weeds. Now, over here, look at my calendula is doing so good underneath my cloth. This has really helped with the grasshoppers. And now look, I even have basil that's going to beautiful flower. So pretty. So I just wanted to take a moment to show you the basil going to flower. And the flowers, I would highly recommend this mosquito netting. I got mine off of Amazon. It wasn't super expensive. It came in really big rolls. And it's worked really well. Look, I even have peas growing, which I could not grow in springtime because the grasshoppers were so bad. And my mint is thriving. You can't even see the path, but that's okay. The big thing I wanted to talk about was the tomatoes. And as your tomatoes look like, so you see this looks so sad, but what it's doing is taking all of the nutrients from the leaves and it's putting them back into the plant or the fruits so that it has good seeds. And it will, as it's getting cold, ripen faster. But I personally just do recommend leaving your tomatoes on the vine as long as possible. Now, if it's already snowing, obviously, I'm sorry. Your tomatoes in the center will survive some freeze. You know, these ones down deep in here, they'll still ripen as it gets really cold, and I'll still get good tomatoes. They will tolerate a light freeze, but they'll just start to get mushy. So I hope that your harvest is looking good. Look, the dog is eating tomatoes. He loves tomatoes. I hope your harvest is looking good. I hope that you're getting some good turnout. And I will see you guys all soon.